Hello. Oh, it's so nice to be on and chatting with you. It doesn't feel like it was 12 months ago, but
No.
gosh.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's flown. It's flown. How have
Yeah.
you been? What have you been up to?
Oh gosh, I feel like it's been a really flat out start to the year in a great
Yeah.
way. We
Yeah.
kicked it off with the Tamworth Country Music Festival, which I really enjoyed the festival this year. I thought,
Yes.
it's just in such a good place, country music in Australia
Yeah.
in general. And we played a show up there at Moonshiner's Honky Tonk Bar with my brother Mickey Pye and Tamika, and that was such a fun gig. I love playing the room out at Moonshiners, and it was nice to have people coming back to see the show again, and lots of new faces there. People from all over the country, from all over the world. Actually, we had Freddie and Stefan, the Swiss
Yes.
twins. For anyone that goes to Tamworth, you've probably seen them.
Yes.
Come over to Australia every year and check it out. And we also played the Fan Zone stage, played at the Capitol Theatre with Tanya Kerner
Wow.
and
That
Jason.
venue. Oh, beautiful venue.
Oh gosh, it's such a pleasure to play on that stage, and they're such great entertainers, and I've had the good fortune of playing in their band on and off for the last 2 years. So it was a great way to finish up the festival, and we're full steam ahead into releasing music really soon, and working towards getting an album out later in the year as well. So I'm just really looking forward to this year.
2026 is going to be fantastic for you. It's a great way to start it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
the last couple of years, I've sort of put music out at the start of the year, and it's just been such a nice way to kick it off. And it's especially the next couple of songs I've got in the pipeline as well. I'm really excited about too. So just got a good feeling about this year. It's nice to be sinking our teeth into it and going full steam ahead.
Absolutely. It's so exciting. I'm so glad. I had a little bit of a sneak peek at this single earlier because Jules sent it through, and I am really excited to hear it. It's just a really great song. It's really, you can connect with it because I guess coming from Tasmania, we're all in a small town down here. It's like the whole state, but it's a really great single that I think a lot of Australians will connect to. Tell us a bit about the writing process and how this song came about, because obviously you've grown up with the small town background. Where did it come from?
Yeah, I guess that's probably what really sparked it, to be honest. So I grew up in a really small town called Oberon, which is it's up in the Central West of New South Wales. It's a town of less than 3,000 people when I grew up in it, and we're not too far away from Bathurst. But yeah, it was a really small community to grow up in, and I guess I've always felt really warm and nostalgic about the town that I grew up in, and every time I go back, it just makes you feel like it's where you belong. It's where the people that you grew up with are. Everyone knows you by your name. You bump into people walking down the street, and I just every time I drive away from it, it just sort of feels like a bit of a walk down memory lane. So I was probably just feeling a bit extra nostalgic about it, and decided to write a song about it. And to be honest, I came out with the chorus instantaneously, but I really wrestled with the verses for probably, close to 12 months, to be honest. I just, I really wanted to kind of write it in a bit of a different way that, goes a little bit underneath the surface of a small town. And I think anyone knows, if you grew up in a small place, people often kind of make fun of you in a way for the things that you don't have. We like McDonald's or chain stores, or just there's so many things that we didn't have growing up. But I just wanted to flip it and kind of acknowledge that, but shine light on what we did have and kind of elevate.
Switch it around, yeah.
Yeah, we've got 3 motels, we've got a grocery shop, there's one mailman. I just tried to just pull out things that are very true about growing up in a small town, and kind of make it more. I didn't want it to just represent the town that I grew up in. I wanted people to hear it and think that's so indicative of the place that I grew up as well.
Yes. Yeah.
I guess I particularly had people in mind that grew up in very small communities like mine, and I think there's probably some lines in there that people might relate to. But just anyone in general that grew up in a community that was really tight knit, and
Yeah.
yeah, everyone knows each other, everyone looks out for each other. I just wanted to write a song that shines a light on that, and that makes people feel just a sense of pride in where they
Yeah.
grew up, because I think our towns, they raise us in ways and shape us in ways that you probably don't realize until you get older. I think
I think
many
so.
your own values and characteristics and the way that you treat people is kind of built from growing up in those communities. So I wanted that to be the theme of this song. And yeah, as I said, I wrestled with lots of different verse ideas, and yeah, when I kind of finished and put the verses down as they are, I felt that's kind of where I wanted the song to land. So
Yes.
yeah, it was a bit of an evolution, but I'm really happy with it where it ended up. And yeah, I've
Yes.
been really excited to release this one, so I'm looking forward to people finally hearing it.
Me too. It's a real, it's funny when at different times of the year when people release music, but like it's a nice summer song too, because everyone, I think when summer comes, we are wanting to get back to where we're from, and we get I guess it's like that time where we're outdoors, we're camping, we spend it with friends and family, so it does take us back to our hometowns a lot easier. So to me, when I was listening to it, it's one of those songs that when you listen to that in the winter and through the year, it takes you back to those moments and those memories to make you think of summer and that happy time, I think.
Yeah, oh, that's so nice to hear. And to be honest, I kind of wanted it to feel that way. Like, when you're on a road trip and you're driving through a lot of these small communities, I kind of wanted that to feel like it was a song playing in the background on the radio when
Yes.
you're driving down
Yeah.
a small town, that kind of really is the theme of the song, I suppose.
Yes.
So yeah, it's really nice to hear that. It was sort of where I was hoping this song might land. So that's
It definitely has. Tell us, I know that you've got the film clip, and we were talking a bit before we went live about, where you filmed it and things, and I don't know how much that you're able to say before the release. It's coming out in a couple of weeks, you were hoping for.
yeah.
How did filming that come about, and what made you sort of choose the places that you went to film?
Yeah,
If
to
you
be
can't
honest,
answer, that's okay.
no, absolutely. I finished writing this song a couple of years ago now, and to be honest, I was kind of like, I could almost see sort of a lot of the visuals that I wanted this song to represent as I was writing it. And over the last few years, I've just been, my parents live up in Queensland now, and I've got a sister that lives out in Gilgandra, and my friends are spread all over the Central West. And as a musician, being on the road with Tanya and Jason the last couple of years, I've gone everywhere. And so I've just been sort of capturing lots of towns I've not been to or not been in a long time, their welcome signs, their main streets, just like shop fronts that have a lot of character. I'm just really fascinated by those old buildings and those kind of hidden gems in those small communities. And so, I've been just capturing a lot of that on my iPhone. And before end of last year, we thought, okay, let's go out and kind of film this a little bit nicer. And we took a road trip just around the Central West, and I purposely just wanted to go to communities very similar to Oberon, no traffic lights, only a couple of hundred or a couple of thousand people. I wanted this song to shine a light on those places. So we went out to places like Molong and Manildra, which has a big flour mill there. We went to Grenfell, which is a beautiful town. It's if you've not been, it's got so much character, that main street. And
that place, did you go to some you hadn't been to? Like, did you get to?
Yes.
How exciting.
Yeah, a lot of the towns we filmed around here, because it's the Central West, just sort of feels like my backyard, because I've kind of spent my whole life playing gigs around this area, and it's very familiar to me. But going back to just last couple of years, sort of capturing a lot of my own footage. A lot of the time going to a town I hadn't been, you're just sort of mesmerized by I love seeing silo art and
Yes.
famous monuments and just really quirky things that, like Ningen has the big bogan statue. Like that is
Yeah.
just such an Australian iconic, put it on the map type of thing. And
Yes.
I think every town's got something that puts it on the map, whether it's big or it's something that the town's kind of manufactured itself. Um,
Yes.
yeah, I wanted this song to not only highlight those things, but just the day to day little hidden gems in those communities that maybe don't always get a spotlight put on them. So
No.
I've actually had just as much fun kind of putting all this video content together, and like you said, it's actually going to evolve into a full music video,
Yeah.
which is going to come out in the next couple of weeks. And I've actually been editing all of that myself too, which
Oh my
I've
goodness.
got no background in video editing, or I'm not a professional at all, but I love it. Like I love, as a songwriter, I love telling stories through songs, but I've kind of discovered this other, little sort of creative edge that I really enjoy, just visual content and trying to tell a story through that as well. So
Yes.
that's just been a real joy through this whole song, and looking forward to sharing that in a few weeks' time.
That is really special, and by editing it yourself, like it sort of would highlight to, especially the towns that you hadn't been to before. Like when you're editing it, you're remembering those bits that stood out to you, so it kind of makes it
Yeah.
what stood out to me, because this is what people are going to be noticing when they come into the town. So it's a nice little way of piecing it together for people.
Yeah, 100%. I think, with the line, I write the lines in the song, of course. So when I'm sort of piecing things together, you're right. I'm like, I remember when I went to Dolby or to, Grenfell, or a community that had this great, image that would suit this part of the lyric really nicely. And the fun thing about this song is I feel like there's just an endless amount of towns that you could show off. Like I'd love to just go out on a road trip and capture more places, because one thing that's been so nice about preparing to release this song is, I've been sharing lots of little clips on social media, and I've met all of these new people that are like, I grew up in Molong, or they've just got all these interesting stories that, music at the end of the day is there to connect people.
Yeah.
So as a songwriter, like I find that is just the most gratifying part of putting a song out, is when you don't just have people connecting with you, but you have them connecting with one another and sort of sharing a common theme of stories. So yeah, that's just been a really fun part about the lead up to this release, and looking forward to more of that once it comes out too.
Yeah. So people can pre-order and pre-save your single at the moment.
Yeah.
I know Scott had a moment where we had a QR code on the page. I reckon if you scan that QR code, that will take you guys to where you can pre-order and pre-save, so that it's Friday's the 20th, isn't it? It's coming out this week.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've got those links on my social media pages as well.
Yes.
So yeah, would love you to save it and give it a listen on Friday, and share it with someone that you think that would appreciate it, or kind of get that song if they grew up in a town
Yes.
like that. So
Town. I love it. I cannot wait to hear what everybody thinks of it when they hear it. But make sure you guys go when we finish the show, scan that link, and I promise it will take you to whatever platform you want to save and pre-add onto. Scott, thank you so much for the amazing graphics, because they always look amazing. He's working in the backgrounds there, everybody. He is listening and smiling at us. Tell us a little bit. I know that you can't probably talk too much about the album, but 2026, you've got a new album coming, or a debut album coming out. How is the preparation going for that? It must be such an exciting but nerve-wracking feeling all in one to be really doing it.
I've been a musician for the best part of 20 years now. I started really young playing gigs, but it's really only the last 5 or 6 years that I've started putting out any of my own music. So in a way, the kind of artist side of things is relatively new to me. And, I put an EP out a couple of years ago that just had 5 songs on it. It was just my way of just starting to get a bit of music out there. But my dream is always to have to release a full length album. And so the album is going to be called Feels Like Home. And I've released a song called Feels Like Home, which is going to be the title track. And a lot of the songs do kind of have a bit of a homely thread that runs through them. So this is the fifth song that's we've released off the album. We've got a couple more to go. I'm going to share a couple more songs this year before we drop the album later in the year. And I'm really excited about it. Most of these songs actually were written kind of in those 2 or 3 COVID interrupted years.
Yes.
Yeah, that was sort of yeah. That was such as terrible as it was for the whole world. I actually found it a really creatively inspiring time. And I wrote about 150 songs in that sort of 2 or 3 year period. And I was just trying to write a song a week. And this collection of songs just came out of that time. So I sort of whittled it down to 10 that I felt sort of had a bit of a common message there and worked well together. So that in itself was a fun process too, of just sort of trying to not just think about a song that you think, oh, I like that, but what would someone else, how would they respond to it? And I guess that's what I'm always trying to think about when I put a song out is the listener, and can they put themselves into it and put their own story into it.
And your own visuals that when you're hearing it, imagining it in your mind.
Yeah, that's right. And to be honest, I think songwriting is it's a hard thing to do because it's
you could be vulnerable.
Yeah, that's the idea. I think our job as a songwriter is to kind of paint the picture, paint the room, and let other people put their own stories into it. So it's sort of not being too specific, but sometimes the most simple songs are the most effective too.
100%, definitely. Troy has just popped up with a question. It's a great question too. He said that he agrees that there's lots of characters in country towns, and he asked, do you have a favourite spot to sit down and play or write songs? That's a great question.
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. I'd have to say I grew up on a farm just outside of Oberon. It was about 10 k's out of town, and we had so much open space. We didn't even have curtains in our house because we just had this beautiful view of Oberon Dam. And if I think about a place that just feels like where I'd want to sit with my guitar, write a song, and probably where so much of my creative inspiration has come from, it would literally be sitting at my old family home, looking out at the view of Oberon. In the far distance, you could see the factory, which is really iconic part of Oberon, and the dam right in front of us. And we were so lucky we had, a beautiful paddocks out in front of us, but no neighbors close to you. We were lucky when we were kids. We used to go out and crank the PA speakers, and it was just literally the cows and sheep that would be out.
As much music as you like, loud as you want.
Yeah, if I could go back there and just spend every day writing songs there, it'd be my dream.
Have you been back to the area and things in your recent times?
Absolutely. I'm really lucky. I live in a town called Orange now, which is about an hour and a half away from Oberon. We're just a little bit further west where I am now. But I go back all the time. Both my grandmothers are still there. My parents only sold our family farm. It was actually about the same time I wrote this song, and maybe that was why I was sort of feeling a bit extra nostalgic about it. But I go back all the time. My nana is turning 90 next week, actually, so we're going back to the Oberon RSL. We're going to have a big birthday bash for her, and any excuse I get to go home, I love it. And like I said, there's no place like home, and there's no place like your hometown. That's sort of the main hook of the song. And I just feel really blessed that I've kind of always got a place to go home to. I've got family there to visit all the time, and it's still a very, very much a big part of my life.
That is a perfect sounding spot, and I do completely understand that you always have a spot that you used to stand or sit that you always remember, that
Oh,
stays with you.
yeah, absolutely. I think so many of our memories are attached to, the place we grew up, and yeah, that for me is such a special one.
Very. Oh, how beautiful. Kaz, I didn't see your message there before, but Kaz had a message saying, she said, I grew up in small towns and I live in one now. She said, so different to the big smoke. Absolutely. It's funny, isn't it? I love going to visit big cities
Yeah.
and I really love coming home as well.
Oh, I can relate in a big way, and it's funny, Kaz's comment there. I live in Orange now. That it's a town of about 45,000 people. That feels like the big smoke
That's
compared to
huge.
where
Yeah.
I grew up. And there would be people that would look at a town like Oberon and think, "Wow, that feels like the big smoke compared to my
Yes.
town, which is 15 people." So
Yes.
yeah, to be honest, even a town like this sometimes feels too big for me. I miss being able to
Yeah.
park out the front of the grocery shop, and
Yes. That's
the
yeah.
person who works at the checkout, and a
We,
lot of those things I do miss about living in a small town. But
we don't tend to go if you can't get a park out the front. That's ridiculous.
yes, I think a lot of people can relate to that. But I think even if you do live in a big community now, I think we're all very good at building our small communities within those
Yeah.
places too. So I think even if you live in the big smoke, you've got a little group of people that are sort of your people and your crew that make it feel like it's still
That's
just a big country town.
100%, absolutely.
Yeah.
Kaz said that she used to tell the stories to her cows, cats, and to her horse. And they were a very good audience. I understand that. My cats understand every word I say, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I love that. We grew up on a farm, obviously, with a lot of animals. So yeah, sometimes they became your best friends because you
Yep.
you know you have
They
close
were just
neighbors.
there. Yep. They're the ones that put up with it all, not the no neighbours, that they are the neighbours. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Scott has popped up on here, and I know we talked about last time we had you on the show, but you're also a physiotherapist. Are you still at the moment working? Because you were when we last talked to you. Are you still doing some of that as well as music? Because you've been on the road a lot. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
it's a bit of a chaotic life, and I feel like on any day I sort of use two very different parts of my brain. But yeah, I've been a physio, yeah, for about 10 years now. And I actually just work part-time now, which has really like just given me the perfect balance. I feel very lucky actually, because I get to do two things that I really love, and you'd think that they're quite different,
Yeah,
but
no.
yeah, I've
Yeah,
had kind of
yeah.
10 years of working in a hospital setting too. So, you're dealing with people that, sometimes are going through good things, and you're helping them on their road to recovery. But you also, on any given week are helping people through some of
Yeah.
the hardest challenges in their life, and really life altering things, which is there's not many people that kind of get to be in that unique situation
No.
of kind of meeting a stranger, and you're guiding them through, yeah, as I said, it can be a really challenging part of their life. So weirdly enough, a lot of my songwriting, if I'd have been trying to release songs when I was a teenager, you've got nothing to write about. I just feel it's probably given me a lot of experiences, and like a sponge, you probably just
Yeah.
really soak in what other people are going through, and you think
Yeah.
about it in different ways, and that's rubbed off a lot on my songwriting. So as much as they're quite different careers, I don't know, maybe if my songwriting would have evolved the way it has if I hadn't have kind of had that
Yes.
experience working in that health setting too. So I think the other thing I'd say too is being an artist, you've really, it's quite consuming, isn't it? You've got to think
Yeah.
about yourself in a lot of ways, and I do find that really hard to do, to put so much emphasis on yourself. So to go to work and for 8 hours, deal with
Yes.
someone else's
Somebody
problems,
else's. Yeah.
yeah,
But
it actually makes me feel really good,
yes. Yeah.
and I think my brain, yeah, really sort of benefits from that, of being able to just kind of shut off, work in a different way, and then come home and
Yeah.
just sort of yeah,
I
get back into
understand
the
that
creative
completely.
space.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it also gives you a different perspectives and different things, and I think it helps as a writer too, just sort of see other people's views and other people. Like, it gets amazing in the healthcare setting how much we learn about other people's lives and things in those moments with patients
Oh, 100%.
as
I
well.
think if any person tried to sit down and start writing some songs, if you're only drawing on your own life experiences, you're going to hit a ceiling probably pretty
Exactly. Yeah.
quickly.
Exactly.
Uh,
Yeah.
so
Absolutely.
you're absolutely right. I think being able to kind of look at the community around you, look at what other people are going
Yeah.
through, and also I think too, to be able to draw those common threads and find kind of those messages that a lot of people can connect to or relate to. I guess that's what I'm always trying to search for as a songwriter, is music that a lot of people can sort of relate to in some way. And I feel lucky that I've kind of been able to draw on that part of my life and bring it into my music sides of things.
Yeah.
And I have lots of patients that come to gigs, and once they hear that you're a singer as
Awesome.
well, they love
Yeah.
to support you in your music career. So that's always really, really sweet.
Absolutely. That is so special as well. And it shows that you've made enough of a difference to them that they want to now support you in return, which
Oh,
is pretty special as well.
that's
I
awesome.
know that we've been talking for nearly half an hour. I'm so sorry. I'm a good talker, but I just wanted to touch on your fundraiser, Fast, and can you tell us a little bit about it and what it means and how people can get involved?
Yeah. Yeah, so FAST stands for the Foundation for Angelman Syndrome Therapeutics, and that's an organisation that myself and my family have become quite involved with since my nephew Ted. He's now 7 years old, and he lives out on a farm a couple hours west of where I am.
Oh, lovely.
He was unfortunately diagnosed with this condition when he was 18 months old. So it's really
Yeah.
rare. It affects
Mhm.
1 in 15,000 people.
Wow.
And it's a really severe disability. So people with Angelman syndrome are completely nonverbal.
Yeah.
They struggle with movement, and a lot of angels are not able to walk.
Yes.
They just require full assistance with every aspect of
Mhm.
life. They suffer really severe seizures as well, and the reality is there's no treatment for it. There's no cure. So to hear that diagnosis, for an 18-month-old baby, I think for any family would be fairly life changing. And
Yes.
it really rocked our worlds, and really changed our perspective on a lot of things. But we are so lucky. Fast, it's just, I think you just look for an organization that gives you some hope and wraps its arm around that community, and that's exactly what Fast does. It's sort of not only raises awareness of the condition, because we hadn't heard of it before Ted was diagnosed, and most people haven't heard of the disorder, but
No, no.
yeah, more awareness just helps people that it might help someone else get diagnosed a bit quicker that might
Yes.
be going through it. And they also do lots of fundraising for medical research. And one thing that's really hopeful is there's so much exciting research happening with this condition. Scientists actually believe that it's one of the rare disorders that has great potential to be cured, and the rate at which things are progressing in that space is, even since Ted was diagnosed, is just phenomenal. So
Yeah.
I guess, anyone in the situation that we are in would be trying to just raise as much
Yes.
awareness and find anything they can do. I guess myself and my brother Mickey, actually, we both, we enjoy running in our spare time.
Mm.
And so we thought, okay, if we could, challenge ourselves a little bit. I've run a couple of half marathons. He's done a couple of full marathons.
Yes.
I
That's
don't know,
incredible.
Travis Collins' band have kind of, they've taken on a bit of a challenge amongst them of doing some of these longer runs as well. So
Fantastic, isn't it? Good to
to use
see.
a way to bring some awareness and do some fundraising has been special for us, and we try to do lots of things. Actually, our little town of Oberon every year holds a country music night, and they've raised thousands of dollars.
That's
And
fantastic.
go home and perform at that every year is always really special.
A
So
small town thing again, isn't it? It shows that community.
Unbelievable. Like our small town is probably, been one of the bigger fundraisers over the past couple of years. And like I said, it's a town of 3,000 people, and people are just so generous and caring and kind. And the people that you grew up with always are going to wrap their arms around you, whatever you're going through. So
exactly, yeah, 100%. And it always comes around too. In a small town, like, people often feel, oh, I don't need the help, but you know what, it does come around. It'll turn around, and people will be there for you, and you'll be there for them. And it's one of the magical things about an Australian community.
Absolutely. And I think like country people are just like that, aren't they? They when they do acts of generosity and kindness, they don't even think they're going out of their way. It's just
it's
what
normal.
You do. Show up for each other, and you kind of go above and beyond to help your neighbors out. So I guess a lot of those themes are probably what I tried to represent in this song. And it's been nice to kind of shine a bit of light on that condition and raise some awareness as well.
Oh my God. Well, thank you so much. I love having you on. It always flies. So I'm so glad that you came back to talk to us, and I hope we get to have more talks with you as you release your next few singles in the lead up to your album. But in the meantime, what is the best place for people to keep an eye on you and your music, and as your other songs come up for pre-saves, what's your best platform?
Yeah, absolutely. So probably Facebook and Instagram, and I'm also over on TikTok and website as well. But really, like I said, I'm releasing a lot of music this year, and sharing lots of interesting videos over the next few weeks as well. So I'm looking forward to sharing a bit more of that. And it's a way that I really love connecting with people through social media as well. It's amazing. So I'd love you to follow along and join the little community we've got going on over there. And hopefully get to meet some of you in person at a show one day.
Amazing. People. So Friday is release day for my hometown. What's your favorite thing on release day? What's one of your favorite things about release day?
Well, I think most artists would probably stay up till midnight just to double check that it's I actually love to get up early and just start kind of interacting with people, and I love it when you get messages from people that have heard your song, whether they've streamed it or heard it on the radio. That's always a special thing, is when you hear your song being played on the radio for the first time, which often happens on release day. I don't think, no matter how many songs I release, that'll never not feel special. And so it's going to be a big day of that, looking forward to actually enjoying it. As I said, I've sat on this song for a couple of years now, so it sort of feels real that I'm getting to the
it's finally about to come into the world after all this time. Yes,
absolutely. But it's a really uplifting song, and a couple of my recent releases, I've put out lots of songs with sort of different themes to them, but this one, I think it's a really positive and fun song. So it's going to be fun to get it out there.
I cannot wait for everyone to be able to hear the song on Friday and enjoy the moment. And in a couple of weeks, also the film clip as a visualizer. I love having that bit of a break between releasing the song and letting people build their own pictures in their mind, and then seeing your version in a film clip in a few weeks' time. I think that's really good fun to have those moments to compare your mind to your thoughts as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're two kind of, different parts to a release, aren't they? The video and the audio as well. So absolutely can attest to that.
Oh, well, I cannot wait till Friday. Kaz just said that she thinks most artists like to stay up for the release. I think that's something that I would never not be able to do. I'd have to wait until midnight to see it click over and make sure it's all working properly. And she said she's going to review the song for you on the weekend, which would be lovely.
Fantastic. I always
So
love reading Kaz's review. Yeah, she's she goes a bit deeper than surface level. So yeah, hopefully she'll have some nice things to say. But I'm sure there'll be some great feedback. If I've got some room to
exactly.
improve, I'm sure she'll give me some pointers.
Always. And I love that about Kaz. She's so honest. But I think with Kaz, because she is like, we're all fans and we feel the music and we know the music, and also having that bit of a connection with the industry and understanding how it works. I think that's what makes her reviews so deep and special. And that's why we all love them so much, I think, because Kaz has got everything covered. And it's, so I can't wait to read her review as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just such a nice thing for people to interpret the song in their own way and to sort of take on those lines that you put a lot of thought into and sort of relate it to their own lives. So yeah, I always love it when that hits the mark in a way.
Me too. Well, I know it's 8:30. I'm sorry, I'm always a good talker, but I love having you on the show. So thank you so much for coming and talking to us again. Enjoy Friday. I can't wait to be watching and reading what people write to you and things, to actually see it out in the real world, because it's a great song and a really well done. So I hope you enjoy the moment and take some time out to enjoy it on Friday.
Oh, thank you so much. That's really kind of you, and I love chatting to you as well. It kind of feels like you're in my living room, actually.
It's great.
Speak to one another. So if I ever make it down your way, we'll maybe we'll do this in person one day.
Definitely do this in person. That would be so much fun. But stay in touch, because if you're ever down here, reach out anytime. I would love that.
Oh, absolutely. Fantastic. Well, thanks again. I hope you enjoyed the song, and thanks so much for spreading it around. I really appreciate it, and I feel very special being a guest on your show.
Thank you so much. At any time. And guys, we should be back next week. We've got shows coming up Monday and Wednesday next week. So lots to catch up on, because we've had to have a couple of weeks off. But thank you for jumping in. Make sure before you turn off your devices tonight that you scan the QR code and pre-save My Hometown on whichever listening platform that you're on. And on Friday, let us know what you think. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are of the songs that come out. I always love hearing from you all. Well, thank you all, and we'll see you next week. Thank you again, Clancy.
Bye.